They discovered a mysterious message in the month you were born. What this means may shock you. Few knew what truly happened that night. It was a night of whispers and shadows, where the moon hung low, and the air was thick with secrets. In a small town, tucked away in ancient Judea, souls stirred uneasily. The scent of olive oil and incense swirled as a gathering took place under the olive trees, their old branches bending as if to listen closely. At the center, a man stood, his face illuminated by the flickering light of a lone lamp. Elijah, a prophet known for his miracles, yet his presence unleashed a storm of uncertainty. His voice rose above the murmurs, filled with urgent energy. A sign has appeared, a message meant for us. The crowd fell silent, drawn in by tension. What could it be? As Elijah spoke, strange omens surrounded the town. A sudden gust of wind rattled the leaves, and shadows danced chaotically. Merchants clutched their wares, mothers clutched their children, eyes wide with fear. Some claimed to have seen a figure cloaked in light, a being that shimmered with the essence of the divine. Others felt an inexplicable chill, as if death itself passed through their midst. Questions spiraled into the air. Was this a blessing or a curse? The town had been restless, awaiting a miracle, but now doubts brewed. Each person felt the weight of the prophecy. Would their lives change forever? Or would they face despair? The history of their people burst through them. Tales of liberation intertwined with suffering, whispers of ancient promises unsaid. Elijah's eyes blazed fiercely with fervor, yet an undercurrent of fear shadowed his intentions. Heed this message. Repentance is needed. Change must come. The implications wrapped around their hearts, tight like a noose. What sins lay heavy upon them? What would they have to let go? The stone walls trembled with the energy of revelation. Details unfolded like petals, exquisite yet disquieting. Time felt suspended. And just as anticipation reached its peak, Elijah paused. He pulled open a scroll. The crowd held its breath, a collective gasp escaping lips. What words would seal their fate? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As anticipation hung thick in the air, the townspeople could hardly breathe. Their hearts raced, echoing the prophecy that trembled on the tip of Elijah's tongue. He unfurled the ancient scroll with reverence, like a sculptor parting a veil to reveal hidden beauty. And then, with a voice both powerful and melodic, he began to read. The night is upon us, and the shadows of doubt creep upon the hearts of man. A sound will rise, but will it be heard? A star shall guide the lost, yet will they follow? Remember the promises of old, and return to the path set before you. The murmurs rose again, questions bursting forth like bubbling springs. What sound? What star? What path? Faces mirrored each other. A constellation of worry and hope mingled in their expressions. As Elijah continued. Further lines unraveled tales of ancestors long gone, of the covenant made with their forefathers, a pledge that seemed unbroken yet fragile as fine silk. For out of the brokenness will come healing, and from the ashes of despair, a light will shine brighter than the noon sun. His words, though laced with comforting reassurance, echoed a warning to all who dared seek solace without sincerity. Elijah paused, his gaze scanning the crowd. In this moment of vulnerability, a woman stepped forward. Her aged hands gripped a fabric wrapped tightly around her heart, the weight of years etched into the lines of her face. "Prophet," she stated, her voice a whisper but her conviction thunderous, "we have waited too long. How can we be sure that this is the moment?" Collective breaths were held, the air pulsing with energy as the crowd awaited Elijah's response. His eyes twinkled with understanding. They needed not only to witness change, but to feel it stir their very souls. "Change begins from within," he replied, his tone gentle yet insistent. "Seek the quiet places in your heart. It is there that the call will be most loud." A heavy silence enveloped them, broken only by the soft rustling of olive leaves. Some felt movement within them, a stirring that both frightened and excited. Others remained unmoved, anchored to their fears like ships lost at sea. The shadows lengthened. A sense of urgency welled within the crowd. Tonight, we will offer our burdens to the wind, casting aside the shackles of doubt. We are meant for more than survival. We are called to thrive. Elijah's voice swelled, a symphony that danced through the olive trees and beyond. But as hopeful murmurs began to swell, a flickering flame of doubt ignited in the darkest corners of some hearts. What should they surrender? What fears would they face when stripped of their familiar burdens? The night pressed heavily upon them, but the allure of a new dawn shimmered just beyond reach. As the stars twinkled above, illuminating their faces, a question lingered in the air, uneasy and unanswered. What if the path toward redemption wasn't solely a journey outward, but also a transformative call to delve deeper into their own hidden truths? Would they muster the courage to uncover what lay beneath their skin? The stars glistened like promises in the velvety night sky, yet beneath their shimmering light, a tension thrummed among the assembled crowd. The whispers of doubt shuffled through them, a restless wind stirring the leaves. Elijah watched as the faces before him flickered between anticipation and hesitation, swayed by the gravity of his words. Then, with a stillness that silenced even the chirping of crickets, he lifted his hands, palms facing upward to the heavens. "Let us seek the heart of this mystery together," he urged, his voice a soothing balm against their anxiety. "Let each of you ponder this in your stillness. What message does the month of your birth hold for you? For in the sacred cycles of the seasons, a truth awaits, one that may be hidden yet longs to be revealed." His declaration sent ripples of confusion and intrigue through the crowd. Many had grown accustomed to seeing their birth months as mere markers of time, but now they were called to reconsider these familiar tropes. What if these months carried more than the echoes of their lives? What if they harbored mysteries meant to guide them? An older man with a beard flecked with gray stepped forward, a twinkle in his eye. "Are you saying our lives are written in the stars?" he asked, the skepticism in his voice colliding with an almost childlike wonder. "Can the month of my birth provide insight into my purpose?" Elijah nodded, encouraging the conversation. "In every beginning, there lies a gift wrapped in the fabric of creation. Your month has its significance, a lesson of the elements, a rhythm of life echoed in the cycles of nature. Look closely, and you may find the deeper truth written in the moments of your life's journey." After a long pause, a young woman, her face radiant yet painted with worry, spoke up. "But what if my month speaks of trials? What if it reveals pain instead of joy?" The shadows momentarily deepened around her, as other hearts simmered with uncertainty. Therein lies the greatest mystery," Elijah responded gently. "For even the most concealed pain can be a harbinger of growth, a catalyst for transformation. Embrace the journey of your soul, and you shall not walk alone. Each trial holds the potential to lead you to profound understanding." As he spoke, a flicker of understanding began to blossom within some hearts. The whispers of fear slowly transformed, becoming questions instead, questions that invited curiosity rather than anguish. What if the narrative of their lives was threaded with purpose, intricately woven into the months of their births? Was it possible that every struggle was not an end but a step towards greater enlightenment? The crowd began to disperse slightly, each individual retreating into their thoughts. Discussing amongst themselves, they pondered the significance of their birth months, examining the patterns of their lives in the quiet of their hearts. Mothers whispered to their children. Fathers regarded their pasts with newfound intensity. Elijah watched as they dilated into questioning beings, wrestling with a profound concept that hung in the air. Would they dare to excavate their memories, unearthing lost joys and hidden sorrows alike? As a gentle breeze swept through the olive trees, carrying with it the scent of promise, one steadfast question lingered like a cloud on the horizon. If the path to understanding their true selves lay entwined with the wisdom of their birth stories, would they muster the courage to embrace the revelations hidden beneath? Elijah stood amidst the olive trees, their rustling leaves sounding like the soft whispers of 1,000 stories embedded in their bark. The murmurs of the crowd turned into a sea of voices, each one reflecting the heart's struggle to comprehend the depth of his invitation. It was a beautiful complexity, a tapestry of hopes, fears, and dreams advancing toward an unspoken truth. With the night cloaking the world around him in shadows and light, he gazed at the stars that hung like silent witnesses to the unfolding narrative. Each one was a reminder of a promise made long ago, resonating with the experiences of humanity. Yet tonight, a peculiar tension hung in the air, pulling at every heart and every mind. Remember, he called to them, the stars do not recite tales of triumph alone. They also cast shadows where light cannot reach. Reflect deeply on the confluence of your birth month and its mysteries. What if within the very essence of that time lies a puzzle, an exquisite riddle to decode the trials and joys of your life? A young man with fiery determination stepped forward, his brow furrowed, yet his spirit seemed to spark with inquiry. But what if my month brings heavier burdens? He glanced nervously at his neighbors, but the courage to voice the fear resonated among many present. If each moment is a reflection of our month, could it be true that some of us are destined for greater hardships? Elijah contemplated the weight of the question, sensing the collective tension in the crowd. Indeed, he spoke thoughtfully. Each month carries both trials and gifts. Think of winter's chill. Does it not invite the resilience of the sprout too? Just as the earth rests under snow, so must some of us endure barren seasons that ultimately make way for growth. The murmurs shifted subtly. Disbelief began to mingle with curiosity. Could hardship be transitory, then? Perhaps more significant than the struggles themselves are the lessons they impart? An elderly woman mused. Her face etched with wisdom gleaned over the years. Precisely, Elijah encouraged. The pain, when embraced with an open heart, acts as a sculptor of the soul. It chisels away the rough edges, revealing the beauty beneath a truth as radiant as the sun after the tempest. In that moment, whispers grew louder. The crowd was a living dialogue of exploration. What if we are meant to uncover deeper layers? One voice piped up, resonating in the stillness. Why would our birth months matter in this longing for understanding? What hidden truths might we discover within our stories? A child pointed at the moon, glowing silver among the stars, and asked, "Is there a story in my laughter born in the month of light? Or is sadness the tale woven into my journey?" Elijah smiled at the innocence, appreciating the curious wonder in the child's eyes. "Ah, my dear, every experience, joyful or sorrowful, adds to the narrative of your being. Listen closely. The messages are encoded within the fabric of your understanding. The moon, paired with your birth, may symbolize the cycles of emotion, reflecting life itself." The crowd fell silent, the weight of Elijah's words sinking deeper into their hearts. They pondered the myriad meanings hidden within their birth months, the visions of their past experiences weaving into a collective quilt of existence. Who were they, if not the summation of moments captured in time, their months draping over them like a narrative tapestry? Elijah breathed deeply as he sensed the collective questioning burgeon. Each individual carried an uncharted story, a yearning to peer into their depths for clarity. Yet in the binding to this existential quest, something remained elusive. With all these revelations, one question hung solemnly, echoing into the night. Would understanding the messages of their birth months give them the courage to face the struggles that shaped their souls, or might it deepen the mystery of who they were destined to become? As the moon bathed the olive grove in its ethereal glow, Elijah observed the faces around him illuminated by both realization and a dawning uncertainty. Each heart stood like a small candle flickering in the presence of a greater truth, an unseen force, an initial flicker toward understanding the mysteries intertwined with their existence. With their musings echoing softly among the trees, a man cloaked in shadows approached the gathering. His presence stirred a ripple of cautious curiosity through the crowd, for he was a seeker, one who roamed the land in search of divine wisdom and hidden knowledge. Elijah recognized him as Daniel, the follower who had once dared to confront the silence that sometimes surrounded the divine. "Wise Elijah," Daniel began with a voice laden with questions, "you speak of our months as vessels of stories far greater than ourselves. But tell me, how can we unlock the cryptic messages within these cycles? How can we discern if what we bear is a burden or a blessing?" Elijah's eyes gleamed with a flicker of inspiration. Ah, dear Daniel, therein lies the quest of discernment, the search for clarity amid life's storms. Each month contains not only your trials, but also a hidden key to self-discovery. Your birth month cradles the divine cadence of time and all the energies that come alive within it. At this, a woman, her hands worn yet calloused by labor, voiced the gathering's silent query, and what if the key is buried too deep? How do we know that the truth we uncover is indeed our own? What if we unearth shadows we are unprepared to face? The murmur there ignited a collective apprehension. Elijah raised a hand in comfort. Fear not the shadows, for they are as crucial to your journey as light itself. The darker paths can reveal the contours of your inner landscape. Each heartbeat of revelation is integral to your growth. Have faith that within those shadows lies clarity waiting to greet you. As the crowd absorbed his words, Elijah continued, consider this. What if reflecting upon your month isn't merely about the burdens you bear, but also about the blessings that grow from your roots? These stories, intertwined with the seasons, flow like rivers through your life. If you embrace them, not as obstacles, but as stepping stones, you will find that the waters of understanding become clearer. A youth, still fresh in his years, stood up with a spark of resolve. Is it then our burdens that partner with our joys in crafting our destiny? Could they be like the two sides of a single coin? Yes, Elijah exclaimed, delight blooming in the corners of his spirit. Imagine the moon's light as both illuminating your path and revealing unseen places. When you understand your joys as reflections of past struggles, you liberate yourself to embrace a fuller narrative, a symphony of experiences that reverberate through time. Daniel, with a contemplative furrow in his brow, pressed deeper. But if this symphony can sound harmonious, what if it merely devolves into chaos? Can we navigate the dissonance when the music of our months collides? Ah, Elijah said, his voice firm yet kind. Chaos too holds meaning, my friend. Rather than resisting the discord, learn to dance within it. In the conflict and in the resolution, there lies a truth more profound than any single note. You will find that even in chaos, transformation awaits, beckoning you toward a new awakening. As Elijah spoke, a gentle breeze rustled through the olive trees, carrying with it the scent of burgeoning blossoms, a reminder of renewal and growth. The crowd appeared entranced, caught in the interplay of light and darkness, hope and fear. Each individual stood at a crossroads, contemplating the paths their months had illuminated for them. In that sacred stillness, a fresh energy wrapped around them, like an invisible shroud, and awareness that life was both a challenge and a gift, bound by cycles that transcended time. Yet amidst the enlightenment, a question loomed larger than any revelation shared so far. Could they gather the courage to embrace both their burdens and blessings, thereby becoming the authors of a story that only they could write? As the midnight hour pressed upon their gathering, the air felt thick with anticipation. It was as if the earth itself was holding its breath, waiting for the unearthing of deeper truths hidden within the interwoven tales of their lives. Elijah, sensing a shift in the energies around him, invited Daniel and the others to sink deeper into their reflections. Consider how the months are but mirrors, Elijah proposed, his voice warm and inviting. In each moment, you find a reflection of your soul's journey. Every change of the season, every lunar phase, echoes your own evolution through time. Your birth month is just one chapter in an ongoing narrative, but it serves as a compass guiding your understanding of self. A soft exhale filtered through the crowd as they absorbed this idea. The night provided a delicate cocoon for their vulnerability as curiosity twinkled in their eyes that a seasoned villager, a woman named Miriam who had witnessed both joy and sorrow in her long life, spoke up. And what of those born in the shadow of despair? What if their story feels devoid of beauty and only echoes with sorrow? Elijah nodded, his heart filled with compassion. Ah, but Miriam, do you not see? Sometimes, out of the depths of despair rises a voice that resonates with profound wisdom. The richness of your experience can sharpen your understanding. Darkness does not diminish the light within, it accentuates it. Each year, each cycle offers a chance to transform what seems broken into something beautifully whole. Daniel, inspired yet torn, added, but if we are encouraged to embrace the complexity of our stories, how then do we share them? What if our truth frightens those unprepared to listen? Courage, Elijah stated, is the bridge we walk when sharing our truths. In sharing, you may unearth shared benedictions and forge connections that intertwine your melody with those around you. You will discover that in the art of vulnerability lies the balm of healing for both the speaker and the listener. The stories bound in fear find their freedom through the act of storytelling. Pondering these insights, a young girl with curious eyes named Layla asked, "So when we come to know our story, can we transform it into something new? Can we invoke a future different from our past?" "Yes, dearest Layla," Elijah replied, eyes sparkling with pride. "You carry within you the power to rewrite the narratives bestowed upon you by lineage, by month, or by circumstance. To honor one's truth while redefining its course weaves magic into the fabric of existence itself. By cherishing your burdens, you cultivate a garden where hope can blossom, manifesting futures rich in potential." The night sky cast a grand tapestry above them, stars beckoning like ancient spirits urging them to ponder far and wide. Within the stillness, a ripple of questions crashed gently against the shores of their thoughts. As the congregation sat wrapped in contemplation, a sudden hush fell over them. The moon's rays, bright and penetrating, illuminated a path at the grove's edge, as if beckoning them to venture forth into an uncertain yet alluring future. In that tense moment, the air shimmered with a profound stillness that seemed to echo the cosmic question lingering between them. Was their journey illuminated by the winds of destiny, or shaped by the tender hands of choice? And as they pondered this, each heart began to wonder. Could they dare to trust in the unfolding tale of their lives, bravely stepping forward into the unknown while embracing the full spectrum of their experiences? The gathering remained in quietude, their thoughts swirling like leaves caught in a gentle breeze. As they gazed into the illuminated grove, a figure moved within the shadow of the trees. It was an old man, hunched yet commanding, his presence resonating with the weight of untold stories. Curiosity mixed with a hint of trepidation washed over the congregation as he approached, his eyes glinting like the stars above. "Peace be with you, friends," he intoned, his voice a tapestry of gravel and grace. "I have listened to your musings and felt the tender threads that bind your hearts. You speak of reflection and transformation, but have any of you unraveled the truth that lies dormant within your very names?" The villagers exchanged glances, intrigue shadowing their initial wariness. It was a thoughtful young man named Isaac who finally found his voice. "What truth could our names possibly hold over our souls' journeys?" "Ah, names," the old man said with a deep and rolling laugh. "Each one an echo of destiny, sewn into the fabric of your being long before your first cry. In many cultures, names are believed to carry a spiritual meaning, an essence, that can guide those who bear them. Are they not markers of your calling?" Elijah stepped forward, his brow furrowing with interest. "What if our names were indeed keys to understanding our destinies? Could they help us navigate the complexities of our existence?" The mysterious elder nodded, his gaze penetrating. "Every name births a story, yes, but it is your willingness to uncover its meaning that transforms its power. Let me offer you an example." He paused, taking a deep breath. "The name Miriam, for instance, arises from the roots of bitterness, yet it blossoms into one of strength and resilience. In your sorrow lies the potential for incredible beauty, just as the moon waxes and wanes, but ultimately shines brighter in her fullness." Miriam, initially taken aback, felt her heart stir at the connection made. "Is it possible my name has always mapped my pathway? I have faced despair, yet perhaps I too embody an untold strength." "Indeed," the elder affirmed. "And so it is with each of you. The month you were born is no mere coincidence. It suggests a chapter in your personal narrative, a resonance that calls you to embrace specific lessons and adventures. You must explore these to understand fully the depths of your being and the journeys laid out before you." Daniel interjected, "But what if those lessons feel burdensome? What of those who are born into names and months that seem to amplify their challenges?" The old man regarded him with a gentle smile. "Ah, brave soul, it is often in the shadows that the seeds of light germinate. Your struggles can shape your voice. Your resilience can inspire others. Look closely at the trials you face. They may illuminate the very strengths you carry within." Layla, emboldened by this discourse, ventured a thought. Then, if we delve into our names and months, does that mean we can discover our destinies etched in the stars? The elder chuckled softly. The stars offer guidance, dear child, but know this. While they create a canvas, it is your choices that paint the scenery. Each action you take blends the colors of your fate, allowing you to sketch your own masterpiece. The congregation shifted in their seats, the firelight flickering in tandem with their eagerness to unravel the deeper meanings behind their existence. They began to brainstorm, whispering their thoughts to one another, as if piecing together a grand puzzle that held the answers to their unasked questions. Yet, as the old man prepared to depart, a weighty thought hung in the air, resonating like a distant echo. Could they, after embracing their names and the impacts of their birth months, truly change the course of their stories? As the last spark of uncertainty lingered in the night, a single crisp question arose among them, unifying their reflections. What if the mysteries hidden within our names could not only lead us to self-understanding, but also bind us to one another in ways we had yet to discover? The quiet settled back between the villagers, drawing them into a deeper contemplation of the old man's words. The fire crackled, casting erratic shadows on their faces as they pondered the intricate dance of fate and identity. The elder paused, noticing their collective introspection. What lies beneath the surface, dear ones, may reveal the true essence of your paths. In the resonance of your names and the months of your arrival, do you hear the call? The universe whispers secrets. Wait for them to unfold. Elijah leaned forward, his mind racing with newfound inspiration. Does this mean we can intertwine our stories? If our names are pathways leading us toward understanding ourselves and each other, how do we navigate that together? Ah, what an astute question, the elder replied, his eyes twinkling with delight. In community, you will find strength. When you share your journeys, as one might share a feast, each person's story adds depth and flavor to the fabric of the group. Can you not see that your struggles and triumphs are threads woven together? They create a tapestry more intricate than the sum of its parts. The hum of conversation swelled, each voice adding its thread to the discussion. Miriam spoke up, courage rekindled. If I embrace my name's duality, its bitterness and beauty, could others do the same? Might our challenges lead us to support one another in ways we have not yet imagined? The old man smiled knowingly. Precisely, dear Miriam. Your burdens can become bridges. Your histories can become legacies. When you share, you not only understand your own heart, but also the hearts of those around you. As the villagers began to discover the power of community and shared stories, a sudden chill darted through the grove, rustling leaves and drawing their attention back to the old man. He leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. Be wary, however, of what you uncover. There are mysteries not meant to be spoken lightly, choices not easily reversed. The time of revelation holds both light and shadow. Isaac's heart raced as he considered a weighty matter. Is it possible that as we embrace our identities, pitfalls might emerge? Challenges that we must face not just individually, but collectively? Yes, the elder replied, somber now. There are forces at play beyond your knowing. The birth month may signify more than just a lesson. It may indicate a convergence of fate, a gathering of energies that could either fortify your bond or test your spirit. The harmony of your collective tales may attract both wisdom and turbulence. In that moment, Daniel felt a chill at the thought of external forces, connecting the threads of their narratives like unseen hands weaving an intricate pattern. But how do we protect ourselves from the shadows that may come as we pursue the light? Vigilance and empathy, the elders stated firmly. Seek to uplift each other. Create a haven where honesty strengthens trust. Know that your strength lies in connection. In unity, you withstand the storms. Seek out the healing power of your shared experiences. Yet do not forget, the journey toward understanding is often fraught with unforeseen trials. The villagers fell into quiet contemplation once more, absorbing the high stakes of their shared destiny. They glanced at one another, gratitude rising, but unasked questions loomed ever larger. What untold stories lingered in their hearts, waiting to be unearthed, as they began to probe the essence of their names and the significance of their birth months. Would their collective pursuit of understanding illuminate their paths, or lead them into the shadows where buried truths would test their unity? As the night deepened, the glow of the fire flickered against the trees, casting long shadows that danced like spirits in a forgotten story. The villagers, emboldened by the elder's words, turned their attention to one another, eager to peel back the layers of their shared lives. The air hummed with unspoken stories, pulsing like a living thing in their midst. Mary, who had been quietly watching the interactions, finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. What if our birth months are not just about individuality, but a call to something greater? What if they hold the key to a destiny we have yet to uncover? The elder's eyes twinkled, hinting at hidden wisdom. Ah, Mary, you touch upon a profound truth. The months you inhabit carry historical and spiritual significance, each one an echo of creation itself. As you step into the understanding of yourselves, also embrace what those times represent for the community. Samuel, drawn by curiosity, leaned in. What do you mean by that? Surely, our months are personal to us. I was born in spring, a season of rebirth and renewal. Do you suggest that it reflects a truth beyond my own journey? Indeed, the elder responded, weaving a metaphor with the artful grace of a storyteller. Spring heralds the promise of new beginnings, not just for one, but for all. Your birth was a blossom opening, carrying with it the potential for joy and sustenance. But remember, seasons change, and with change often comes uncertainty. Others born in this season may share your spirit of renewal, but they may also struggle with the burgeoning expectations and the pressure to thrive. Enlightened yet unsettled, the villagers found themselves mesmerized by this intersection of fate and identity. Jensen, whose birthday fell in the heat of summer, added, "And what of us those who birth through the fire of midsummer? Is our nature a harbinger of conflict or passion?" "Your contributions are vibrant," the elder replied. "Summer births often symbolize creativity, power, and vibrancy. Yet, fire can consume. It can foster unity or division. Understanding the essence of your month is about acknowledging both the light you can bring and the shadows you may cast. How will you channel that strength within your community?" As their discussions unfolded, the elder's words shone like lanterns illuminating the unseen paths before them. Each villager began to share their birth month experiences, and as they did, connections formed that transcended personal trials. Tales of laughter, loss, and lessons danced together, but the chill of tension remained palpable in the air. "What if," Miriam interjected, "by exploring the strengths associated with our months, we trigger something that stirs the tide against us? Might we entice the very shadows we seek to understand?" "Your apprehension is insightful," the elder acknowledged, a shadow flickering behind his eyes. "You must tread lightly. To awaken the hidden narrative of your names is to invite both blessings and burdens. The vibrations you create have consequences that echo through your lives. Will your community become a sanctuary for the hope that emerges or a battleground for the fears that lie in wait?" As the villagers exchanged glances, a tide of realization washed over them. They stood on the brink of a significant journey, potentially fraught with challenges, but laced with the promise of connection. Yet lingering in the depths of their hearts was a question unspoken, rich with possibility and apprehension. Would their individual narratives woven together enrich their lives, or expose them to the lurking shadows, triggering upheaval amid their quest for understanding? What threads would they choose to honor, and what truths might they uncover on this delicate path of revelation? In the hushed glow of the olive grove, tension shifted into anticipation. The moon hung higher, casting a silvery light upon the gathering, illuminating faces that shifted between fear and hope. Elijah, feeling the electric undercurrent of the crowd's thoughts, allowed the silence to linger a moment longer before speaking, his voice a steady anchor amidst the rising storm of uncertainty. "Let us weave together our narratives and embrace the truths whispered in our names and months. For there is power in unity and storytelling, a gift waiting to be unfurled." With those words, the old man, long forgotten in the shadows, took a step closer to Elijah. "Many of you have spoken of struggles born from your stories, but do not overlook the treasures that lie beneath." He spoke with conviction. "The month of your birth does not only spell hardships. It is the canvas of your soul's longing to evolve. Murmurs of curiosity stirred among the villagers. They leaned in, wanting to grasp every fragment of wisdom, every glimmer of hope, as the elder continued. When joining in courage to face your burdens, you infuse each shared truth with purpose. Remember, the shadows carry not just fear, but the potential for deeper understanding. Elijah nodded, sensing a shift within the crowd. Let us take a moment, he suggested, his eyes scanning the assembly. Reflect on your birth month, the trials it signifies, but also the blessings intertwined with it. Here lies an opportunity, a calling to harness not only individual strength, but the collective light born of shared sorrows and triumphs. Stepping forward once more, Daniel, emboldened by the gathering's resonance, called out, "What if we begin by sharing the shadows of our names? Let us unravel the doubts and fears together." A spirited exchange erupted, stories pouring forth like a shared elixir. Miriam spoke first, her voice quivering yet resolute. "My name speaks of bitterness, but it has planted within me an unyielding strength. I've faced despair, yet I rise, and from that, I find purpose in aiding others, transforming bitterness into resilience." As the story unfolded, the crowd responded with nods and murmurs of agreement. Each tale held a mirror to the other, reminding them that every individual journey was laced with the essence of the collective journey. Others followed, voices intertwining like a tapestry. The burden of lost dreams emerged alongside declarations of renewed hope, battles with temptation paired with stories of undeniable faith. Each shared heartache sparked the collective flame of enlightenment among them. Eager to contribute, Layla, heart open and vulnerable, shared, "In my birth month of October, I learned that even amidst decay, beauty arises. The leaves fall, yet they nourish the earth, reminding me that transformation is a continuous cycle." Each revelation echoed like a pulse through the grove, reverberating in the stillness of the night. Samuel, emboldened by the revelations, added, "As one born in spring, I celebrate rebirth, but I also grapple with the heavy expectations of new life. I seek the harmony between growth and grief." With each confession, vines of connection intertwined through the crowd, binding stories to one another, forming an intricate web of humanity. Elijah felt the essence of transformation coursing through them, a realization that emerged with every speak of vulnerability. A warm breeze enveloped them. The air shimmered with possibilities. The elder stepped forward again, a glimmer in his eye. "Now that you've begun to peel back the layers of your experiences, I urge you to embrace this power. With your names carrying meaning, the mystery of your birth months revealing purpose, you are not simply vessels of suffering, but vessels of hope and strength. Together, you can harness this strength and inspire one another to transcend struggles. Will you step boldly into this unity?" Elijah urged, his voice resonating encouragement deep within each heart. Moments flowed like soft ripples, enveloping the gathering in a profound understanding. Yet, beneath the layers of hope emerged the honest fears, the thought of cherishing their burdens while navigating the shadows. A voice broke through, shaky yet powerful. It was Miriam again. "What if we face obstacles not just within ourselves, but against the tides of the world? Can we truly bind together to hold the shadows at bay?" The elder smiled, a knowing warmth radiating from within. "There will always be storms to weather, dear one, but it is not the storms that define your path. It is how you stand together against them. Your unity can foster a safe haven for healing, transforming the weight into wings to rise above." With those words, a wave of clarity cradled the gathering, drawing their hearts toward understanding. In that moment, they recognized the collective power pulsing through their shared stories, lives intertwined like roots beneath the earth. Each challenge, once viewed as solitude, became a collective breath, a shared struggle. As whispers of fate resonated into the star-studded sky, the villagers felt a stirring within, a deeper transformation beckoning them forward. Could they embrace their historical burdens as guiding lights instead of anchors? With resolution dancing among them, Daniel stepped into the space, holding hands with Layla, and faced the crowd. "Are we ready?" he breathed, his heart echoing in rhythm with the pulse of hope swelling within. Shall we walk together toward our stories, forging this into a new beginning together? In unity, Elijah enjoined, we can create a tapestry woven with our shared experiences, each thread of grief transforming into a bridge of understanding. For in listening, we become not just one but many, an embodied witness to the intertwining of fate. As they held hands, breathing in unison, a feeling of undeniable strength coursed through them, igniting their spirits like the dawn breaking over a long night. Together, the crowd erupted, a chorus of faith ringing loudly against the quiet of the glade. And with that, they stepped into an electrifying new chapter, resolute and transformed, in the dawn of a new understanding. It was clear names, months, stories, and shadows intertwined in an intricate ballet, leading to a powerful revelation. That life itself is not merely a collection of burdens or blessings, but a sacred invitation to grow, to connect, and to illuminate the path for one another. Embracing both light and darkness, hope no longer stood as a distant star, but glimmered within each heartbeat, a mirror of their journey, urging them always to rise above and step forth into their destined brilliance.